Have you ever been in a room full of people, laughing and talking, but felt completely invisible? Have you ever looked at others hugging and belonging and wondered, is there something wrong with me? Why am I always the one on the outside? The world tells us that if you have few friends, you are strange. If you enjoy solitude, you are antisocial. They whisper that you are broken. But today, I want to tell you a different truth. If you have ever felt alone in this world, this story is for you. Lean in, breathe deeply, and listen, because you were never broken. You were just waiting for something real. Once upon a time, in a city that never slept, lived a young man named Julian. Julian was not loud. He was not the person everyone noticed when he entered a room. While others spent their weekends at crowded parties, Julian spent his time in old libraries or walking along the river when the moon was high. From the outside, Julian's life looked empty. The people in his office would often invite him for drinks after work. At first, Julian tried to go. He wanted to fit in. He wanted to be normal. But every time he sat in those loud bars, a heavy feeling would grow in his chest. He would listen to the conversations around him. They talked about celebrities. They talked about clothes. They talked about other people behind their backs. Julian would try to join in. He would smile. He would say the right things. But inside, he felt like he was drowning in shallow water. The words felt like dust in his mouth, meaningless and dry. One Friday night, as his co-workers were laughing at a cruel joke about someone who wasn't there, Julian quietly stood up. He walked out into the cool night air. He heard one of them whisper as the door closed. "See? Julian is so cold. He thinks he's better than us. No wonder he has no friends." Julian heard those words. He walked home with tears in his eyes. He sat in his dark apartment and looked in the mirror. He asked himself the question that haunts so new souls. Am I broken? Why can't I just be happy like them? Weeks passed and Julian became even more quiet. He began to believe the whispers. He thought he was a failure because he couldn't enjoy small talk. He felt exhausted every time he was around people. While others seemed to gain energy from crowds, Julian felt like his battery was being drained to zero in minutes. One Saturday, Julian went to a park to sit under an old oak tree. An elderly woman was sitting nearby, feeding the birds. She watched Julian for a long time. Finally, she spoke. "You have a very busy mind for such a quiet body," she said. Julian looked up, surprised. "I'm sorry." The woman smiled. Her eyes were bright and wise. "I see you watching the world. You don't just see the birds, you see the way the light hits their feathers. You don't just hear the wind, you hear the music in the leaves." Julian sighed. "I think I just think too much. People say I'm strange. They say I'm cold because I don't talk much." The old woman shook her head. "You aren't cold, Julian. You are deep." She explained something that Jamie had never heard before. She told him that some people are like shallow ponds. They are easy to see through, and they like the surface. But others are like the ocean. The ocean is quiet on the surface, but it has miles of depth below. "It takes a lot of energy to be an ocean," she said. "Your mind processes everything. The emotions, the sounds, the truth behind people's fake smiles. That is why you are tired. It's not a weakness. It's a rare gift." For the first time in his life, Julian felt a spark of hope. He wasn't broken. His mind just worked differently. After that day, Julian stopped trying to be a shallow pond. He stopped apologizing for needing to be alone. He discovered a beautiful secret. Solitude is not the same as loneliness. While others depended on the crowd for validation, Julian began to find validation within himself. He started to paint. He started to write. He built a rich inner world that didn't need 1,000 likes or follows to be valuable. He learned to be selective. He realized that having no friends is actually better than having fake friends. He remembered the people at the bar. They smiled to each other's faces, but they didn't know each other's hearts. Julian decided he would rather wait a lifetime for one real connection than spend a single day in a room full of shadows. One day, a new person joined Julian's office. Her name was Clara. She was a quiet woman who always carried a book of poetry in her bag. For weeks they didn't speak, they just worked. But one afternoon, it started to rain heavily. Julian was standing by the window watching the raindrops. Clara walked up and stood beside him. She didn't say, "How are you?" or "The weather is bad." She simply said, "Do you ever think that the rain is the earth finally being honest about its sadness?" Julian turned to her. His heart skipped a beat. This wasn't small talk. This was a door opening. "I think the rain is the earth's way of washing away the masks we wear," Julian replied softly. They didn't need to talk for an hour. They didn't need to go to a loud bar. In that 1 minute of honest conversation, Julian felt more connected than he had in 5 years of trying to fit in with the crowd. Clara became his one true friend. They didn't talk every day. They understood silence. They understood depth. And Julian realized that one real soul who knows your heart is worth more than 1,000,000 people who only know your name. So if you are listening to this right now, and you feel like Julian, if you feel like an outsider looking in, hear me clearly. You are not broken. You are not strange. You are not a failure because your phone doesn't ring every night. Your mind works differently. You feel more deeply. You see through the fake smiles and the shallow words. You are an ocean in a world that is obsessed with being a pond. The world will try to tell you that something is wrong with you. They want you to be loud, to be shallow, and to be easy to understand. But why should you lower your standards to fit in? Why should you force connections that drain your spirit? Solitude is where the strongest souls are built. It is in the quiet that you find your voice. It is in the silence that you find your peace. Don't be afraid to walk alone for a while. The people who are meant to walk with you, the ones who understand depth, the ones who value truth, they will find you. Until then, protect your peace. Value your own company. Celebrate your rare, beautiful mind. Thank you for spending your time with Ethan Spire Stories today. If you are feeling alone right now, remember, you are not lonely. You are just selective. You are not antisocial. You are just protecting your energy. You are enough, exactly as you are. If this story touched your heart, please like this video and share it with one person who might be feeling invisible today. Let them know they are not alone in their silence. And don't forget to subscribe to our channel. Every story we tell here is a mirror to help you see the gold inside yourself. Until next time, keep going, keep being deep, and let your solitary light shine bright.